Our next guest worked in one of those warehouses. He's now a community organizer with the Immigrant Worker Center and a researcher on Amazon labor at Concordia University. Mustafa Hanawi joins us now from Montreal. Thanks for being here, Mustafa. We'll start with, Amazon Canada will close those facilities, as we just heard in that story, over the next 2 months. Why do you think they're doing this?
Well, I think it's very clear. It is around the union. It is around people having their labor rights respected, and Quebec being a province with strong rights for workers to protect basic workers' rights. And so this is not a cost issue or a cost-saving issue. So, Amazon is quite profitable. 2/3 of Quebecers have an Amazon Prime account.
What was your experience working there? What was it like working for them?
My experience working there is quite unique because I was working at DXT4 when it had first opened. There was a lot of talk about, us being family and this being a job that one could build a career on and eventually promotions. But at the end, it became about being a number. It became about simply meeting the quotas, working as hard as possible in the middle of the night to achieve 100% efficiency. And this is what Amazon cares about and only cares about, no matter what the costs are. So,
well, you talk about the costs. What is the cost for now that these workers are being laid off? What happens to them?
Well, unfortunately, we're talking about being laid off in a context where we have rising unemployment. You have e-commerce being one of these growth sectors, right? So if they're going to end up being back in the same sector or the same type of work, they're going to be in jobs with lower pay, worse conditions, and probably more insecure, because a lot of these third-party logistics companies really rely on a model of subcontracting, misclassification of workers, really dangerous work conditions. So there's a high cost. One, the ability to find work is also going to be tough. And one of the things in the piece that the CBC piece is that this 14 weeks that they're talking about is guaranteed in Quebec law around Quebec collective dismissal. That's why they're doing it. This is not charity. This is the very basic minimum that Amazon is obliged to do. So again, unfortunately, the workers are being punished and they're paying the highest cost, while Amazon will completely have impunity to do as it please. Mustafa, to have its subcontractors.
They're saying this has nothing to do with the unionization movement. You don't believe that claim at all, it seems.
No, not at all. There's if you look at the costs, our wage costs are actually lower than what they pay Amazon workers in the United States.
Really?
Right? So Amazon pays workers in the United States somewhere between $15 and $17 an hour US. So if you do the calculations, workers here are paid $20. So actually the costs are quite is lower. The benefits that Amazon workers are entitled to receive are less used here because we already have public parental leave, public maternal leave. So for a lot of Amazon workers in the United States, they might use some of those services within the private medical packages. But for Amazon workers in Quebec, they don't need to because they rely on a public service.
Before I let you go, though, sorry to interrupt, though. Before I let you go, because we're running out of time and I want to make sure you get all your points across. What does this news to you say about Amazon as a company here in Canada?
I think it's really unfortunate, and we've given them quite a bit of our money, quite a bit of our public resources. So you have to think about Amazon in the big picture. Amazon Web Services has contracts for a lot of our government facilities, a lot of our government websites. We give them cheap electricity to operate their data centers here in Quebec. We give them subsidies for Amazon video games. So we subsidize Amazon. We've provided them the money to create this profit.
And the infrastructure,
and the infrastructure. And then at the end of the day, workers and working people are treated as being disposable. And what it says is that this kind of model that has created immense wealth. I mean, when we saw Jeff Bezos standing behind Donald Trump 2 days ago, it's a sign that we do as we please for our own wealth, for our own profit, at the expense of entire communities, of working families, and democracy. These are our laws, right? Yes. These are labor laws that we voted on, that we collectively decided are integral to our social cohesion, and to say, you know, the workers have the right to unionize. Workers have the right to basic health and safety. Workers have the right to a decent and fair job. And then Amazon can trample on those rights as they please. So this is not just about those 1,700 workers. This is very much an existential question about the times we live in.
Yes.
And that kind of feed the politics that we are witnessing today before our eyes.
Mustafa Hanawe is a former Amazon warehouse worker. He now studies that company at Concordia. Mustafa, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Dwight, for having me on CBC tonight.
You're welcome, sir.